Thanks, April. Folks, let's put out an all-points bulletin for Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. He really needs to hear this next story. John DeSico, PhD, is a research professor at the University of Michigan's Energy Institute. In fact, Senator Whitehouse may already have Professor DeSico's number on his Rolodex. For more than a decade, the professor's research has been focused on carbon dioxide emissions as a driver of global warming. So the two may well have already met. Last week, DeSico published an extensively peer-reviewed research paper entitled Carbon Balance Effects of U.S. Biofuels Production and Use. Don't yawn. His conclusion is that the use of ethanol from corn sugar in motor fuels actually increases the carbon footprints of cars and trucks, as opposed to that of vehicles using gasoline alone. Apparently, the accepted wisdom before this research had been that the leafy corn plants absorb CO2 from the atmosphere as they grow, thus creating an offset to the CO2 liberated later when the ethanol is burned. DeSico noted that the farmland cultivated with corn for ethanol would certainly be cultivated with some other leafy plant if there were no market for biofuels. In fact, those same fields would probably be used to grow corn for human consumption or animal feed. For this, you need a PhD? Okay. The point is that you can't count the offset. Since ethanol combustion produces more CO2 per unit than refined gasoline, the net effect on greenhouse gases is greater. In other words, Senator Whitehouse, the two arguments for forcing more expensive motor fuels into American cars and trucks are based on political policy, not on scientific fact. Since the Carter administration, it has been an article of faith that adding ethanol to our fuel both makes us less dependent on foreign oil and emits fewer greenhouse gases. The technology associated with hydraulic fracturing and crude oil exploration has made the U.S. completely energy independent. In fact, today we are a net exporter of petroleum, whereas during Jimmy Carter's day, we imported more than 40% of our daily consumption. Take that, OPEC. Now that it appears we can also eliminate ethanol from our fuel supply on greenhouse gas grounds, we would see a decrease in the per gallon cost for gas and have much more corn available to fight hunger worldwide. Huh? Well, that's a twofer. Is that a twofer or what? And by the way, since Congress passed the Renewable Fuel Standard in 2005 and revised it in 2007, an ever-increasing percentage of ethanol in motor fuel has been mandated. Meanwhile, the amount of the corn crop has only increased marginally, but the percentage of that crop going to ethanol production has grown substantially, from 12.4% to 38.6%, according to John DeSico, if you're scoring at home. Also, during that 11-year period, the worldwide number of hungry mouths to feed has gone up considerably. So, is it time to rethink renewable fuels? You tell me, Mr. Whitehouse. April?